Good evening, everyone. Please rise and join us for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson? Here. Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Councilman Dooley?
Here.
Councilman Marcocia?
Here.
Supervisor Calavita?
Here. Okay, opportunity to address the board on specific agenda items. Moving forward, we have approval of the minutes of the October 4th, 2022 Town Board meeting. Any proposed amendments or modifications? There being none, someone care to make a motion?
October 4th?
October 4th, yes.
Okay.
Yes, October 4th.
I'm sorry.
And any amendments or modifications? No, there being none, I'll make a motion to approve same. Ask for a second.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Law Department report, Mr. Rader.
Yes, good evening. First, I have a resolution authorizing the town to retain the services of A1 Engineers, Inc., Dolph Routfeld Engineering Division, to provide design engineering services for various improvements that the town of Eastchester will be implementing at Leawood Park.
Yeah, on this subject matter, Mr. Rothfeld and his firm have done extensive work for the town in the past. We've actually referred their firm to the villages and to the school districts for work. They do an excellent job, and this is all about the Leawood project, which we've talked about quite at length. We were a little bit delayed in the project in that we wanted to get our sport time amended agreement worked out. That has been worked out, so now we're advancing on the improvement of the park. This is for conceptual plan investigation, survey, preliminary site plan, final site plan, dealing with the DEC for the freshwater issues, all the supporting engineering, construction administration, and inspection. And the total is $188,000 even. There might be some additional charges for copies of plans, renovations, et cetera, but that usually is commensurate with a project like this. So we're very excited to get this project off the ground. The first thing we're going to move on are the tennis courts and the pickleball courts, and then we'll move toward the baseball field, the playground, the parking lot, and all of the amenities around the facility, like the sidewalks and the curbing and the plantings and the lights and all that. Something absolutely beautiful. So with that being said, I'll make a motion to approve this agreement and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye.
Okay, next I have a resolution authorizing a settlement of a certiorari proceeding instituted by Tucko Developers, Inc. of Poughkeepsie Shopping Center, Inc., affecting the premises known as Section 33, Block 9, Lot 1A, 8 Depot Square. And the assessment year on this property is 2021, tax year 2022, and the total town tax refund is $587.65.
So moved.
Second, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Okay, that brings us over to the Highway Department report. We can receive and file the September written report. Mr. Latella, how are you?
Good evening, Supervisor Calavita and members of the Town Board. I would like to report crews completed planting of our fall flowers. Our residents will enjoy these great, vibrant fall colors planted in Town Center, the library, and other locations in town. Fall leaf cleanup pickup will be starting soon. Again, we ask our residents that leaf piles be placed on the right-of-ways. This is important to keep these leaves from clogging our stormwater drains in the event of heavy rains, and also that our streets will be clear and safe for vehicle and pedestrian traffic. Please be reminded that scheduled pickups during the month of November will change during holiday weeks. Please refer to our schedule or contact the Highway Department for any information. That's all I have to report tonight.
They can go online also.
Yes.
And find out what section they're in, because, especially the election week, and you have also the Veterans Day, which I think
Yes.
is on a Friday this year.
Yes, we have
And then
two
you
in 1 week.
Thanksgiving, of course, the whole bunch of
Yes.
stuff there. Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you. Okay, we can receive and file the Receiver of Taxes report for September, together with the Clerk's report for September. Any modifications? Okay. That being said, we move forward to our correspondence agenda. We have a memo from the Controller on budget transfers and revisions, a couple of transfers and some small revisions. I'll make a motion to approve same and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, I have a memorandum from the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation regarding the approval of a contract between the Town of Eastchester and the Westchester County Senior Programs and Services for funding through the New York State Office of the Aging for the Community Services for the Elderly, the CSE program, from April 1st, 2022 to March 31st, 2023. And this is simply $18,264, which the county will provide through their offices, and the town will match with $7,836, all for the purposes of conducting transportation services for our seniors from their homes to the nutrition center and from their homes to the doctor's offices and, of course, back once again. It's one of the nice programs that we have. We get seniors who may not have transportation available to them to their doctor's appointments and back to their homes, and also to and from the community center, which is very nice for them, so they can participate. So I'll make a motion on this. Ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have a late flying item. It's a memo from the Controller regarding the disciplinary charges preferred against employee number 1596. And we have a memorandum here. We're on or about October 18th, 2022. Disciplinary charges were preferred against the employee pursuant to the collective bargaining agreement between the Town of Eastchester and the Civil Service Employees Association, Local 860, CSCA Local 1000, and AFSCME, AFL-CIO, hereinafter referred to as the CBA. And whereas pursuant to Article 23, Section 23.21 of the CBA, the employee hereby is and shall be suspended without pay for 30 calendar days commencing on October 19th, 2022, pending the final disposition of disciplinary charges. So there'll be a resolution to suspend employee number 1596 for 30 calendar days without pay commencing on October 19th, 2022, pending the final disposition of disciplinary charges. I'll make that motion. Ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. All right, there being no miscellaneous business, we move to council member reports. Councilman Markocha.
Thank you, Supervisor. I want to begin by thanking the Eastchester Columbus Day Committee for another great parade and Columbus Day Festival. There's a lot of work that goes into it, months and months of planning, and they just do a great job every year. We had thousands of people come through, watch the parade, and also go to the carnival for over the course of 4 days. So they just did an excellent job, and I want to thank them for all of their hard work. And of course, all the people that have come out and supported the parade and the festival as well. Also, this past week was a Fire Prevention Week, and there was a flyer that I have here from the NFPA, and there's just a few tips that I think might make sense to just communicate. The first is to make the first Saturday of each month Smoke Alarm Saturday. A working smoke alarm will clue you in if there is a fire and you need to escape. Fires move fast. You and your family can have only minutes to get out safely once the smoke alarm sounds. Smoke alarms should be installed in every sleeping room, outside each sleeping area, and on every level of the home, including the basement. Test all of your smoke alarms by pushing the test button. If it makes a loud beep, beep, beep sound, you know it's working. If there is no sound or a low sound, it's time to replace the battery. If the smoke alarm is older than 10 years old, you need to replace the whole unit. If your smoke alarm makes a chirp, that means it needs a new battery. Change the battery right away. Make sure everyone in the home knows the sound of an alarm and what to do when it sounds. And that leads to action item number 2, and that is to develop a home escape plan and to practice it a couple times a year. Draw a map of your home, making 2 ways out of each room, including windows and doors. It goes on and it just it tells you some more helpful tips here. And finally, it says, remember, when you hear a beep, get on your feet, get out and stay out, call 911 from your outside meeting place. For more information or to review this, you can go to firepreventionweek.org. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman Dooley.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Yeah, I'd also like to thank the Columbus Day Committee for a great job. The weather was perfect. Just a great event, great parade, great honorees. I'd like the volunteers, all helped out, and the police department did a really great job. Their presence there was just unbelievable. So just thank you to everybody, just a great weekend. And also today I attended a library workshop. They're working on their 5-year plan, and it just reminded me what a great facility we have there. There's so much programming that goes on there, and I just encourage people to go on their website, sign up for their alerts, and look for the great program they put in place out there. It's not just books. There's a lot of stuff the library does there, so check it out. Thank you.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. On the public library front, learn what's going on at the Eastchester Public Library. We sign up for the weekly newsletters. You could go to www.eastchesterlibrary.org, or you can call 914-793-5055. There's from knitting to games, mahjong, bridge, rummy, to movie time, and lots of children's events. Just a reminder, there's the New York general election that will take place on Tuesday, November 8th. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Marcotte.
Thank you, Supervisor. A couple events coming up on behalf of the Recreation Department as we get closer to Halloween. On Friday, the 28th, right here at the Eastchester Town Hall parking lot, beginning at 5:30, is the Trunk or Treat. You can come out and join with some firefighters and local police and EMT, and I'm sure lots of town hall workers, for lots of treats to be given out and just a lot of stuff for the residents to enjoy, the bubble bus and some music. On Saturday in the village of Tuckahoe, that's the 29th, starting at 4 o'clock, going to 5:30. They have a Tuckahoe creepy candy crawl along, I believe it's Main Street, and that's put on by many of the residents as well as the merchants. So we hope to see our residents there. And of course, on the 30th, the annual Eastchester Ragamuffin Parade. That steps off from the middle school at 2 p.m. It comes here to Town Hall, where there'll be lots of treats given out to the children, and that is being sponsored by Comizio Dentist, so we thank him for that. I, too, want to thank the many volunteers, the Recreation Department, the police, EVAC, and so many people that had a hand in putting together the Columbus Day Committee Carnival. I think it was the 16th year. It was a great event, and all the many citizens that volunteered for the many things that were going on throughout the day. So it just lends itself to what a great community we have. So I want to thank all of those people. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention early voting begins, and that starts on October 29th. That is a Saturday. It will be for 9 days straight, and there are 23 sites set up throughout the county, and one of them, of course, is right here in the town of Eastchester at the library. So Saturday and Sunday, early voting, 10 to 6, and I think the rest of the schedule is probably on the clerk's website, Linda. So for more information, you can check there, and that concludes my report, Supervisor.
Thank you. For my own report, I'm delighted to announce that the Office of the New York State Comptroller conducts a fiscal stress monitoring test for all of the towns, villages, and cities and the county itself in Westchester County. And our stress designation is 0. It is the best score you can get. There are only a couple of zeros on the list. There are some that are in the 14s, 18s, 30s. We are 0, which is excellent. That means that we are under no financial stress as a result of the practices of this town board and the Comptroller's office. I'm very, very delighted that the State Comptroller would recognize that from us. And it's not easy to get, of course, as you could imagine. Also, on the heels of that, we are now deep into the budget We are working on the preliminary budget to get it out to the board members, to start to crunch numbers, to get everything moving. At the end of this month, we'll be filing our first salvo of the budget, but we should be in pretty good shape, and we're hoping that we can accommodate all of the plans we have for the next year, but also keep spending in check as well. So it should be very interesting. I also wanted to thank the Columbus Day Committee, did an excellent job. It's not easy to pull an event like that together, and strangely, in 2 years from now, in 24, that'll be the 50th anniversary of Columbus Day celebration in Eastchester. It started when my father was supervisor back in 1974 at Greenvale School. And if you were around at that time, you remember that the West Nile virus had just hit. And while the fair was going on, there was crop dusting going on in Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville. But it didn't deter anybody. It was a couple of days, and it really was a big hit. And the town embraced it as we knew it would, and here we are advancing almost on, we just finished year 48, so hopefully in 2 years from now we'll have quite a significant celebration. Also, I wanted to mention 2 other things. Veterans Day is on the 11th, and we will be having a program in Eastchester at Memorial Park at 11 o'clock, as of course everyone should know. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month was the Armistice Day, and we're going to have recognition of all of our veterans. But in addition to that, we're going to recognize the 50th anniversary of President Nixon coming to Memorial Park to basically christen and open our first monument that was placed at that park. So we're going to be doing some interesting things. We have a section going up on our website for people to put comments in, what they remember happened, photographs and the like. We're putting together some posters of what we can pull from that time period. So it should be very interesting. And of course, it was important to the town that the sitting president of the United States came to do that monument christening. And of course, he rolled down into Tuckahoe and met Mayor D'Agostino, and it was quite a very exciting time for the town of Eastchester. And though it was a while ago, it's nonetheless important and should be recognized. And certainly coupling that with Veterans Day is most appropriate because it was, of course, our veterans and our deceased KIA and MIA memorial. With that being said, I want to also congratulate the Yankees on their win today. It's great news. And to the Met fans out there, it's too bad they didn't make it in there. I like the Mets, and I'm not trying to gloat or anything because I'm a Jet fan, and Jet fans know misery more than anybody. So don't worry about it, Met fans. You'll be around another time. But we hope they do well and go down and pound on Houston, who, needs a little beat down, I think. But anyway, with that being said, that concludes my report, and that brings us to the second opportunity to address the board. There being no one seeking to do that, someone care to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.